Hello, welcome back. Today we have some Am I the Devil posts for you. I'm really excited to see what the stories are about, so let's get into it. Our first story today is titled, Is My 30 Male Friend 25 Male Being Used by His Girlfriend 27 Female? This post was originally posted in r/advice, so let's get into the story. My friend Angelo is not typically the best with women. He's okay, but he does not do as well as me. I am taller, more confident, and charismatic, to be honest. The only thing he has over me is money. Anyway, when we were bowling last October, we started talking to a group beside us. There were two girls, Ashley, Angelo's girlfriend now, but he had just met them, and Michaela and I started the conversation. Ashley is definitely the hot one, like she is just fine, 10 out of 10. Something strange happened because Ashley was gravitating more towards Angelo, even though I was initiating the conversation more. When we went to the bar, I made sure to sit next to her and Angelo was next to Michaela. Now I know what you're thinking. Maybe Michaela called dibs on me and Ashley was respecting that. Nope, Michaela had a boyfriend at the time, now fiance, and she made it very clear that she was loyal. Maybe she's after Angelo for his military benefits? Angelo did time active duty before going to the reserves and make a lot of money as a government worker. He makes like 140K, and even here in the DC area that is really good. I could see that, but she's a nurse practitioner, so not exactly hurting for money. It was crazy because she gave him her number even though I had asked all night, lol. He said something about not stretching even though he works out a lot. I'll give him that in really good shape, but he's only 5'9", I'm 6'2". She said, oh, take my number and we could go to a yoga class together. I was sure she was using him but couldn't figure out what. Now I don't know, maybe she isn't, because I didn't expect them to actually become boyfriend and girlfriend or even talk this long. It's just weird. Don't get me wrong, my friend is probably the nicest dude you will ever meet, but the more like the typical naive nice guy, if you get my drift. OP sounds a bit jealous that his friend is getting more attention than him, and I don't think it's the looks or the money issue, it's the personality issue. From this post, I can tell that the OP is a little bit of a very salty dude. And I don't like that. He's kind of looking at women as like, oh, there should be over me. I'm 6'2", even though I don't have any money, I look good, and like girls will want me. And why do they want my friend over me? I don't like that. Why would you want all the attention on you? There were two girls. Yes, you were asking for her phone number, but if she doesn't want to give you her phone number, it's her choice. He's saying that he's 6'2" and la la la, all that. No, your friend is just nicer. Your friend has a better personality than you, and if that's how you wrote your post, very selfishly, very self-absorbed, then I wouldn't want to talk to you either, because in the conversation, you kind of self-report on you. You self-report. This whole post sounds really self-absorbed, and he sounds like he's thinking that he's better than his friend or any other guy, since he's 6'2" and all that. Like, the height is the only thing that makes you better. I don't know what girl is gonna overlook your personality flaws. If your personality is 1 out of 10, she's not gonna be with you. So it's jealousy. It screams jealousy. I don't like that. Let's get in the comments. Let's see what the people say. Wow, you're kind of an asshole, dude. You're just completely shocked that she would be attracted to your friend and not you. So you're trying to figure out some sort of game or plot she's playing. Guess what? Maybe she just likes your friend and doesn't like you. If this post is anything to go off, your personality is kind of crap. I agree with that. That's what I was saying. If that's how you were talking to the girl, you kind of self-report that you are a piece of caca and you're not a good person. So I wouldn't be interested in you either. Another comment, dude, you're so full of yourself. Can you not accept that not every woman wants to be with you? If you're actually his friend, be happy for him and leave them alone. My guess is that at the first sign of trouble, you'll try and be the good friend and help her through it. If only Angela could see your true colors. Yeah, you're not a really good friend, because if you feel jealous of the attention your friends are getting from the opposite sex or the same sex, whatever your orientation is, you're not a really good friend. OP is asking if the friend is being used by his girlfriend. No, she just doesn't like you and you're salty about it and you try to find some flaws in her so you feel better. So no, you're just self-absorbed, you're selfish, and you're jealous. Let's move on to the next story. It is titled, My 37 male unemployed wife, 35 female, won't do more house chores. Is this fair? My wife and I have been together for 17 years, married for 10. My wife's startup went under a year ago and she hasn't bothered looking for a job since. I'm perfectly fine with her choosing not to work anymore, but I do think that the person who has more free time should do more chores. I work 3 12-hour shifts a week while she sits at home playing video games. She does occasionally clean the house, but that happens every once a few months while complaining that I'm not helping at all and that she wants to split all the chores down the middle or alternate every week. I'd like her to cook more too, but that's been a fight. I think splitting cooking and cleaning responsibilities is unfair since I'm the only one working and have less time on my hands. She thinks everything needs to be split since she's paying half of the bills, we keep separate finances, and the only way she'd take on all of the house chores is if I take over all the bills. This isn't fair to me since she has significantly more money saved up than I do. It doesn't make sense to me that I should pay all the bills when I'll never reach how much she has in her savings. So who's right? Is it more fair to split chores based on who has more time available or based on how the bills are being split? This is interesting because I thought that unemployed wife, meaning that she's not making money and she's not contributing to the house. In that case, I would say that the unemployed person, the person that's not contributing, should be doing more house chores. That's just me. If I was in that situation, I would have done more around the house and contributed in non-financial ways. But since you guys are splitting the bills, she's paying half of the bills, I think the responsibility should be split half as well. Yes, she does have the time, but I don't like the approach of kind of measuring the money, measuring the contribution that each of you make at work. In this case, she does contribute and she contributes half. I don't care where the money comes from. I wouldn't care where the money comes from. As long as she's contributing, I feel like we would be on the same page and on the same level. So if I'm working, contributing half, and you're not working, you're able to spend from your saved up money, great for you, but the chores would be split also in half because one person is contributing the money and the other person is contributing the money. I agree with your girlfriend, with the OP's girlfriend, that the only way that she'd take on all of the chores is if he would contribute everything financially. So if he could pay all the bills completely. I agree with that. So this is fair. We have some more context in the comments, so let's get into it. Let me preface this answer first by saying I'm an easygoing guy and I generally leave her to her own vices. Doesn't sound like that. She used to work 60-hour weeks, but would go on deep cleaning sessions of the house and cooked a lot. She barely slept during this time, and I'm pretty sure she was always on something. I'm not going to treat her like a child, so I never bothered confronting her about it, and I never once asked her to do any of that. She eventually burned herself out, which is why I have no problem with her not working anymore. But it's been a year of her doing nothing, so I think it's fair of me to ask her to start picking up the house chores again. Huh? You weren't easygoing. You weren't easygoing. She worked 60 hours a week. You didn't bother to ask her and treat her like a child. That's what you say. No, you were just comfortable that she was working a lot and still contributing to the chores. She was cooking more. She was cleaning more. Right now, she's burnt out. She can't do all of that. And her job burnt her out. And she worked 60 hours a week. That's how she would manage to save up money so she's not doing anything for a full year. If you can't do it, if you're jealous that she's able to do it and you're not, that's your problem. That's not her problem. She's still contributing to the bills. She's still doing some chores and she's enjoying her life. If you want a traditional wife, be a traditional man. Simple as that. If I was contributing half of the bills, I would still do chores. I would still cook. I would still clean. I would do all these things. I would love to do that for my man. I would enjoy that. I would like to make their load easier. But if my man came up to me and said that he wants me to contribute fully because my workload is less than his, I will be really offended, because if I'm already doing half of the work or something like that and I'm contributing half to the bills, I would feel really offended that they're feeling entitled to get me to do more. It's out of the goodness of my heart. I don't have to do this. I can split the chores down the middle and we'll do them half and half. That's the fair option. But if I'm doing more and the man will come up to me and say that I'm doing not enough, I will be really offended. So in my opinion, the LP is really entitled, selfish, and not fair. There should be a balance in a relationship. You should talk about that balance. You should talk about what you expect from each other and come to some sort of compromise. It's not a black and white type of thing of I'm doing this and you're doing that. No, it's a contribution right now. You separate the bills. You can do them. You can divide the bills based on your income. You can divide bills down the middle. One of you might not pay the bills, but you contribute in some other ways. So you find a compromise in a relationship. In this case, the OP wants everything to be equal, but for her to do the traditional thing. So he wants half the bills paid, but also he wants the traditional wife thing of her doing all the chores. It doesn't work like that. It's not going to work like that. If you want a traditional wife, be a traditional man. Contribute all of the money. Pay for all of her things. Give her a lavish lifestyle, and then she's going to be doing everything for you. So with that mentality, you're not going to go too far. Moving on, next story is, am I the a-hole for canceling my financial support for my son's wedding after his fiancée catfished him to test his loyalty? My son, 23, got engaged a few months ago. Recently, he admitted to me that he had been texting with the girl he met on Tinder. That alone already shocked me. He's engaged, and that's obviously not acceptable behavior. But here's the twist. The girl on Tinder was actually his fiancée. She made a fake account to test whether he would stay loyal. And when he flirted back, she confronted him. Yes, what my son did was messed up, but creating a whole fake profile to trap your partner, that's manipulation. If you have to run sting operations to trust your fiancé, maybe you shouldn't be getting married. After learning this, I told my son I wouldn't be paying for the wedding anymore. I don't want to support a marriage that already starts with lies and games from both sides. Some people in the family say that I'm overreacting and punishing both of them. What's your opinion? I don't understand why this is in Am I the Devil? The title from the Am I the Devil is OP's misogynistic, misplaced anger. I feel like he's angry at both of them. He's angry at his son and he's angry at the fiance. It sounds like he is. And not paying for the wedding anymore is his decision, and I feel like it will be a smart choice because the fiance did the test, but the test worked. OP's son got caught flirting with somebody from Tinder. Why you're on Tinder to begin with if you have a fiance? Why are you looking for other people on dating apps when you have a freaking fiance? Why? So the fact that the son got caught on Tinder by his girlfriend, the girlfriend had already some doubts. She just needed proof of that happening. Maybe she was gaslighted before in the past relationship or something. That's her own thing. But she felt like she can't trust her fiance and she wanted to actually see it for herself and confirm. I don't think it was a test. I think she needed a confirmation. You should trust your partner and your partner should be loyal to you. So in this case, I don't think the anger is misplaced. He's just angry at both sides. That's my take on that. That is the last story for today. I hope you liked it and I hope you were entertained. If you liked today's video, please tune in next week for more juicy stories from Reddit, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.